Uhuru Kenyatta amongst the leaders present in that particular summit, but we'll definitely keep you updated. We'd like to shift focus right now away from climate change matters, closer home to matters to do with TVET institutions, all to do with the education sector. And this time round, we just want to focus on how exactly these skills can help buffer up the society, and especially those in the informal settlements and those who might be affected mostly when it comes to the spread of education across the country. Women might fall victim in terms of penetration in schools across the country, and we want to have a discussion based on this, on how exactly TVET institutions can help us boost the skills and the practicability skills of these particular individuals who might not make it to the highest levels of institutions, but the TVET are definitely playing as a buffer in this all-important need and thirst of education. Joining me in studio to help us discuss on these matters and more, I'm joined by two individuals. Anthony Richard Hulula, who's the director of the Ngao Foundation, and we'll get to know more about what the Ngao Foundation does. And I'm equally joined by Mukuhe Karimi, who's the director of Blessings Institute of Professional Studies. Lady and gent, thanks so much for your time and welcome to Morning Express. I'd like to begin with you, Anthony, just briefly, and perhaps you can break down what Ngao Foundation does before we get into the thick of it. I understand you work with the communities and facilitate them in realizing their own potential to initiate sustainable change using asset-based community development model. Let's talk about this model first of all as we get into the thick of it.
Yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity. My name is Anthony Richard Hulula, the director of the Ngao Foundation, and we work in the informal settlement with the young people and ladies, young girls, in helping them realize their potential so that they can have a living. We use the model called ABCD, which is asset-based community development, which we focus on the asset. We always say every human being or community has some assets or resources that can be used, and instead of focusing on the needs, we focus on what is it that you have that we can start with and move forward. So we start with what you have and build with what we know. That's the model of asset-based community development. Ngao Foundation works with the young people and women in terms of them using their own hands and the resources they have to make sure that they can realize and foster their living. We also work with a mentorship program that is scheduled to develop a young person from who am I, where am I going, and how to get to where I am getting. So we do that mentorship program, and we sponsor young ladies and boys through TVET courses for them to have a living. And we have been doing that for quite some time now.
Okay.
We also have a full sponsorship program for the young people through primary, secondary, and college.
Well, that's well noted, and good job right there in terms of working with the community. Over to you, Mukuhe Karimi. Thanks for your time. And perhaps as you break down what your institution does in terms of these technical skills, perhaps let's also talk about the importance of getting these technical skills in one way or the other, because we're coming from a perception in the society that white-collar jobs might be better off than the opposite, and this might sort of sideline these technical skills when compared to the degrees that are handed over in higher level institutions. What importance does technical skills have in this current day and age?
Thank you very much for this opportunity. My name is Karimi Mukuhe. I'm the procurator and the director of Blessings Institute of Professional Study, which is located at Kangemi, the main one, and the branch in Kawangware. We mainly deal with the slum, that is informal settlement, young and women, and TVET courses has given us opportunity which skills is very important to our women or our girls because they don't need much. When you have skills, you have everything, because everything we need is money to sustain us in slums. And skill like hairdressing, you don't need capital to start. You just need skills. If you get skills, good skill, you just need maybe to have a comb which is 10 bob, and that is capital. And we believe in slums, and we believe in Tibet courses that skill is everything for our life. And that is all about the benefit. And we have a lot of courses in Tibet courses, which is hand skill courses, which we deal with, which we believe we are helping community to get skill on that. And the more they get skill, the more we create empowerment in our country. And the more we create employment, the more we clear our area or our slums to be in a better position of self-employment to our community.
And that's well noted. Thanks for that, Karimi. But still with you, let's talk about the transition, especially in these informal settlements. You mentioned you're based in Kangemi. So young girls, they finish Form 4. What next for them? And I'm sure this is usually a very tricky point in terms of the exposure in society. And how important is it, and what does your institution do to ensure that they are not waylaid in one way or the other, that they stick to the, to the courses and all that? Talk to us about how challenging it is to transition to the next level, especially in informal settlements, yeah?
Most important in informal settlement, we deal with people who maybe parent or sponsors has tell them you have maybe failed for education, or you have dropped, we don't have maybe money, or maybe they wanted to go ahead, or maybe they failed for academic. We don't call them failures. We involve mentorship, and that's why we work with GAO. Because girls bring mentorship first before they choose their career. We have that process before they enter direct to the course. They pass a mentorship section, which we partner with girls to choose maybe the course, or maybe to choose what they want to do with under Tibet career courses.
Okay, well noted, Karimi. Thanks for that. Let's cross over to the man from Gao Foundation. I hear you offer mentorship, so let's start on that particular point. And I think one of the biggest issues in terms of choosing a course is what exactly one wants to do, because so many are offered under the TVET courses. So how do you help these young minds zone in on what exactly will, make their blood flow, will make their juices flow, where their effort will actually count? What involves the mentorship process?
Yeah, thank you so much. You find out that many of the young girls, who need to do a course, or they want to move on their life, they have been discouraged by so many things, either by the perception that they either dropped in school, or because they didn't go to school, or they failed in school, and whatever. So their self-esteem is really very low. They don't have confidence, and they just want somebody to hold their hand, to help them navigate through these eminent challenges that they face. So we try to build their self-esteem, self-confidence, and get them through, their interest in life, their passion in life. When we bring them to that, they realize that they are worthy, to do anything that they can do with their hands. And we take them a process whereby, people are gifted differently. We have those who are gifted by, heads. Those who are gifted gift of the heart, the gift of the hand. And given the fact that women, even just when they are sitting in their social group or whatever, you will find them, using their hands to either they are doing plating, they are doing anything and whatever. So we pull those, skills, them, and when you just sit without doing anything or anybody telling you to do anything, what do you always think about. And you'll find that many of them, either they're in beauty, they are into, either, rolling, papers to make either beads or doing what and whatever like that. And we find that we connect now that passion with the skill that they can now train and move on. And it doesn't mean that when you failed in school or you dropped or your parent did not have money to take you to school, then you are, not worthy, to do anything. So mentorship helps them, to pick up, gives them a second chance to pick up and be who they can be in life. And that's what Ngao does, working with children, girls, in the informal settlement to ensure, that they can still pick up life, by themselves. Because the only person who can stop you is yourself. Whenever they realize that it is them who are stopping, because the perception that the community thinks or people who are in your environment thinks about you has nothing to do with you. If you realize that you are the person who can stop yourself or who can grow yourself with that dignity, then you can. And many of them, when they realize that, you can't stop them. They will make money even just as plaiting the hair, doing all these simple things by hand, to move on with their life.
Okay, well noted. And perhaps, Anthony, still with you, is there a common tendency among the female trainees to go for these traditional fields, influenced by various factors in the society? We well know of these traditional stereotypes. So do they go for this limited set of technical fields, or it's quite vast when it comes to their thinking?
Whenever they realize their potential and the skills that they have, they will want to go, to do anything that they can do that, they are passionate about. But what the tendency is very high, when, they find that, like the world is caving, onto them. That, they don't have opportunities because there's no money. There's nobody who is motivating them to go to school. They cannot afford. So that discouragement and giving up, because, they give up very easily. And you find many of them, either the only thing they can do traditional is go to wash clothes for people.
Okay.
They will go, wash clothes or mop the houses or be, housemaids and whatever, with that, without any, formal skill or anything they can do. But when they find somebody holding their hands and realizing that there is potential inherent into them, that they can be anybody, anything they want to be in this world, that perception changes and they move forward.
Okay, and we'll definitely get to listen to what the two of you are doing through your organizations to perhaps push the penetration, especially of TVETs in informal settlements. Allow us to take a short break right now. When we come back, we'll continue with the discussion. You're watching Morning Express.